So in the past 2.5 years, I've grown from 0 to 600,000 followers while having a full-time job. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through my step-by-step process to getting here so that by the end of this, you'll know exactly the steps you need to get started, get going, and eventually to get good at this social media thing. Now, the first thing that I recommend is to start with the 10-day experiment. This means that you're going to commit to a set period of time where you're going to take a daily action with the sole goal of figuring out for yourself, did you enjoy the process? There are no other goals or KPIs that you should be worried about in the beginning phase. You don't worry about, did I get X number of followers? Did I create this in X amount of time? Those don't matter. All that matters is that you enjoyed the process. So what I did in about August of 2022 was I decided to upload my very first TikTok video. Now, mind you, I was looking for a side hustle because I wanted a creative outlet outside of my full-time job. So after trying drop shipping, studying NFTs and trading them, and then even building no-code apps, I was like, these aren't working for me. So I decided to record a video of myself on TikTok. And I gave myself 2 hours during that first day to record it, script it, edit it, and then publish it. And when I published it, I remember, and you can even go back to the video, I had like 200 views tops that I got. But that was actually a lot for me. And frankly, I really enjoyed the process of just talking about something that I cared about and seeing people from around the world get value from it. I even got like 3 likes, which was amazing. Although maybe one of them was from my mother, you never know. But still, it was really cool. And I committed to this process every single day. Publish a video, publish a video, publish a video, no matter how good or bad it was. I didn't care as long as I enjoyed the process. And so that's what you can do as well. Just make sure that you commit to a process, you take daily action, and by the end of it, you should have at least a few videos that you've published or a few articles that you've written that help you understand, was it worth it? But the important thing to remember about this is to have a period of self-reflection. And I like to use this template to help me assess whether the 10-day experiment was really worth it. So you'll draw 3 columns, and in the first column, you'll write down all the things that went well in the experiment. You might give yourself 5 minutes to do that. In the next column, you're gonna write down all the things that could have gone better from the experiment. You'll take about 5 minutes to write those things. And then in the third column, you're gonna write down what would need to be true for me to get better at the thing in the next 10 days. And this gives you the opportunity to reflect on the key things that could have moved the needle a bit more for you. Not just from a metric standpoint in terms of how you could have got more viewers or how you could have gotten more engagement, but also in the things that you would need to do differently to enjoy the process that much more. Now, it may be the case that you're like, well, there's nothing I would have done differently because, well, I just really didn't like it. And that's great. That means you don't need to pursue this anymore. You can stop watching this video and move on with your day. But when you do write this down, it really helps you think through, okay, maybe I could have cut down the time that I spent editing, or maybe I could have been more thoughtful around my hooks. You can just write a bunch of these down, and for each video, you just work on one of these at a time. And so once you've done this, you have a really clear sense of whether this is right for you. But then there's another phase to getting started, which is to actually pick a topic that you can commit to. Now, you might hear some people say that you really need to be focused on a key persona, a key customer, a key topic, and just talk all about that. And that might be true for some people. That's what you might consider to be a topic niche. But then there's another category of creators, and I think of creators like Ali Abdaal and Vicky Zhao in this category, where they just are mission niched. They focus on talking about whatever they care about. And it might be about studying for your MCATs. It might be, for me, talking about communication skills. It might be about your interest in AI and automation, but you talk about whatever interests you. There's a common through line, which is you are the niche. So to find those topics, the key barometer I'm looking for is, what could I talk about nonstop for 30 minutes straight without needing to research a thing? And that really helped me find a topic that I was passionate about. Now, for me, that was communication skills, because I actually was a startup founder before being a creator, where I built a software platform to help people improve their public speaking skills with AI during COVID. So people couldn't practice a lot in person, and they used our platform. And during this process, I spoke with more than 200 communications coaches, learning about their tricks of the trade, and I began to adopt them myself in my own speaking. So I had so much to talk about about when it came to helping people become more articulate communicators in order to advance their careers at work. But I tried a myriad of other topics as well, ranging from NFT trading to building no-code apps. And what I found were some of these topics were things I was like vaguely interested in, but if it required me to do so much research on the newest trends, the latest technology, I just found myself burdened by that. So the key for you is to find a topic, look inward at yourself to figure out what it is that you feel like you can talk about nonstop. Now, the third part of getting started is to actually get the right equipment. And so I strongly recommend that you prioritize finding a decent microphone first. For your camera, you can really use anything, like your smartphone. That's totally fine, and in fact, I still record a lot of my videos using my smartphone. But audio is important because it signals professionalism. It signals quality immediately when a new viewer comes across your channel. And the great thing is you don't have to spend more than like $75 US for this. I use the Fifine dynamic microphone myself. It's like roughly $75. You can find a link in the description below. And I also bought a boom arm that connects the microphone to my table so it's fully supported. You can also buy an adapter to connect to your phone, and I'll have a link in that as well in the description. But this is what you really need to have your audio sound much more crisp and clear than if you were to just record with your phone alone. So the next phase is to get going. And the number one thing you need to do is to make the content creation process simple. This is because you need to publish at a consistent cadence, whether that's monthly, bi-weekly, or weekly, or even daily. For me, I did this every single day, putting out a short form piece of video content on TikTok and Instagram for over a year and a half. And I was only able to do this because I made the creation process much simpler, much more scalable. So before, I used to spend tons of time scripting, trying to make it perfect, re-recording countless takes whenever I messed up, and then spending so much time editing the thing myself day in and day out. And that just wasn't sustainable. And it not only wasn't sustainable, I wasn't seeing a lot of traction. I was only at the 0 to around 3,000 follower mark for about a year of doing this. But then I had this realization, which is the constraint test. If I gave myself just an hour a day to publish a video, especially while I have a full-time job, what would I need to do to publish consistently every single day? And it was very clear to me. I needed to stop scripting. So what I did was I would write down for each video topic 3 main things. The first was just the core topic I wanted to talk about. It could be like how to nail the tell me about yourself question in an interview. The second thing I did was I would write down 1 sentence, which was the hook. So how did I open up my video? And the next thing I did was I wrote down 1 to 3 supporting points for that main topic. And then I just spoke in front of the camera with those things beside me. I got good at this to the point where I could create 20, 24 shorts in just a 2-hour sitting, and that was awesome. But I know it's not that easy to record things in one take, so here's a trick. Just clap really loud because it creates an audio spike so that when you go back to edit, either you or your editor, you'll be able to spot it right away and then edit right around that clap spike wherever you made a mistake. And if you want to get better at being able to speak without scripts when you're recording content, make sure to check out the Impromptu Speakers Academy. It's my program to help a lot of professionals get really good at speaking on the spot. The link's in the description. Now, the next part of getting going after you've simplified your process is to find an editor. Now, I cannot stress this enough. I wish I had gotten an editor way sooner, like in my first 3 months of doing this, because it would have saved so much time. If you're trying to do this, you might be spending 5, 10, 15 hours a week just editing this yourself, and that is exhausting. But the key thing here is you need to avoid being perfect. I know that as a creator, you want to create the best possible thing, but the reality is, unless you just love to edit, you need to spend much more time working on your business, building the systems to make your personal brand run so that you can still have a full-time job and do both things well. So I actually found an editor on Upwork, and I would now work with 2 contract editors. I've worked with both for between a year to 2.5 years. And my process is really simple for finding an editor. I'll walk through it much more in detail in another video, but at a high level, you want to make sure that you provide a sample task. So you can take a single YouTube video, or you could take a single short, and you just want to give every editor that you interview the same trial task. It could be a 3-minute sample where you give every single one of them the same B-roll footage, the same background information and potentially script, the same editor guidelines, and you just let them run with it. You compare the results, whichever ones you think are decent, you then have them go through another round to incorporate your feedback, because you're not just evaluating how they get it the first time, you're evaluating how well they incorporate your feedback. And then you can identify your editor from there. And so if you want more tips on how to find the right editor, make sure to comment below and I'll make sure to put a video out about that. And then the third phase is to get good at this content creation thing. Now, I have a long way to go on my YouTube channel, but I've done decently well on TikTok and Instagram, so I feel like I can share a few things here. The first thing you want to do is to analyze your top performing posts. So you should be saving every single post. It could even be in a Google Sheet where you collect the link of any video that either 10x or even 100 or 1000x performs from a viewership perspective, your average videos, right? So you might see sometimes you're averaging 3,000 views, but then something spikes to 100,000. Save that video. And when you do this, I want you to be looking at a few things. Number one is, what's the format? What's the format? Is it talking head? Did you script it? Right? That's a key thing, is how does it look as a format? The second thing is, what's the hook? So what's the opening line that you say to grab people? Typically, if a video performs really well, it means that hook was probably effective. So you could even copy that hook and bring it to another video. That's exactly what I did when I started my TikTok about a month into my journey of just recording without a script. One video popped off to over 3 million views. And when I analyzed it, I saw that I was speaking fairly slowly, and I started off with the hook, "To sound clear and articulate, I want you to do this." And so I just started using "to sound clear and articulate" in a lot of my hooks in my videos, and a lot of those popped off too. The second thing that you want to do is to steal like an artist. And what I mean by this is you want to be looking at two levels. The first thing is to look at the topics of videos, the titles even of the videos, of creators in your niche. That way you get a sense of what's generally hot right now in your space. And the second thing is to look at a bunch of other creators that are outside of your niche, to start taking some of their templates, some of their hook structures, and incorporating it in your own content. So what I've done is I've collected templates from creators in, let's say, the security niche, or the toy review niche, or even the venture capital niche. And I'll just piece together the content or topic that I care about, along with a template, how they structure their words to come up with videos or video ideas. And that way I can stay fresh. And sometimes they don't work, but a lot of times they actually perform really well. I even did this for this video right here, which got more than 5 million views on TikTok, and it was a whiteboard demonstration video. I saw this in the productivity niche, in the science niche, when people were explaining difficult concepts, and I decided to apply it to communication coaching, and that style of just whiteboarding what I was saying really resonated with people. So now you should have a clear sense of exactly what you need to do to get started, to get eventually going, and then eventually good at this social media thing, particularly on short form video. But the big thing I want you to remember is how you can manage this process sustainably while balancing a lot of other responsibilities in your life, whether that's a full-time job, whether that might be your family responsibilities with your wife, or perhaps your kids. You should be able to do this. Now, I recommend taking about an hour a day on this content thing, if you can. Or you might want to time box it to a weekly period where you're spending no more than 5 hours a week. My process, however, looks like I spend just an hour a week to record content. It could be this YouTube video, it could be a bunch of shorts, and then I send it to my editor. I let my editor take care of it. I let my VA modify the edits from there, and then it's just out in the public. I might review it once more, but that's it. So I'm not spending a lot of time creating these videos. Now, if you want to build a system around how you can create content around your personal brand in a sustainable way while balancing so many of your other responsibilities, make sure to follow Side Hustle Stories. It's my weekly newsletter where I share in-depth insights and lessons from building my creator-led business while balancing a full-time job. And I share a ton of automations, a ton of insights that will help you just unpack this creative process alongside me. So I hope this is helpful. Please like and subscribe. But what other topics would you like me to cover, whether it be about the creative process or building my own business? I'd love to know so I can create more videos that can help. Hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you in the next one.